GameStop. If you're a gamer of any sort, I am certain you've at least stepped foot in a GameStop before. However, it hasn't been doing too good. It's been on some sort of decline for the past, I want to say like 5 years, 5-ish years, and especially recently. So, let's talk about that. Hi guys, DPX here, and I am the In-Depth Detective. Welcome to the show with that same name. Today, we look at what's going on with GameStop. Before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. You'll be a subscriber. GameStop has been on a decline for the past 5-ish years, as I mentioned just now, and there are many reasons why. A lot of them are connected to each other, but other reasons are just sort of shady things they've done or, do. Some of them they still do. For example, back when Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii came out, GameStop had exclusive rights to sell the game, so naturally they sold it for $90 and barely put any on store shelves, allegedly even jacking up the price on eBay and selling them there. There's also the fact that the trade and exchange value for games and consoles are noticeably low, and you feel almost robbed sometimes. Not to mention, GameStop allegedly has terrible management as well as a bit of a reputation of mistreating employees and even customers. Go online and find any video about how it's like working at GameStop and you'll see what I mean. They have also acquired many other companies like Spring Mobile, ThinkGeek, and Simply Mac, amongst others, which cost GameStop a lot of money, which will definitely come into play later. For all the reasons I just mentioned, amongst others too, GameStop has not been doing well. As a result, many GameStop locations across the world were shut down. This has been going on for the past few years. And yeah, for the past number of years, it actually kind of felt like you couldn't go 2 weeks without hearing about a number of GameStop locations closing down. If that is not bad enough, we get to the year 2020, March to be exact. And you know what that means? The pandemic. The start of it, in fact. Many stores all over the world were shutting down for the safety of employees and customers, all except for essential businesses. Businesses like grocery stores, or hospitals, or banks, or restaurants that only allowed for takeout for the time. Places like that. GameStop, however, they didn't get the memo and thought that they were an essential business, so they stayed open during the pandemic, putting employees and customers at risk. They did take safety precautions, but by safety precautions, I mean giving the cashier your credit card to buy your game. The cashier puts in a bag and some shit, and you toss the bag around, and I don't fucking know, it was a bunch of nonsense. GameStop soon came under fire for this, and they shut down their stores, albeit not permanently, in favor of the pandemic, of course. However, it doesn't end there. Okay. You ready? I'm pretty sure this is what you all came here for, so strap yourselves in. Ryan Cohen, responsible for launching the website Chewy, and sold the company to PetSmart in 2017 for a whopping $3.35 billion. Alright, now we go to December of 2020. Ryan Cohen invested nearly $75 million into GameStop stock with a reported 9 million shares. He even wrote to GameStop urging a, quote, strategic review. Things started to look good. Ryan Cohen was able to go toe-to-toe with Amazon before, in which Amazon is the largest internet company by revenue in the entire world. This, along with GameStop's new board of directors, which included former president of Nintendo Reggie Fils-Aimé, seemed good for GameStop. Was it? Well, let me tell you about short selling. Short selling is when an investor borrows a stock, sells the stock, and then buys the stock back to return it to the lender. The short seller is betting that the stock they sell will drop in price. Now that you know that, many hedge fund managers decided to short sell GameStop's stock. Many billionaires on Wall Street took major risks and borrowed a lot of stock, sold it immediately, and are now banking on the price to tank in order to buy it back at a cheaper price. So a lot's going on right now, but it gets crazier. This is where Reddit comes in, specifically the subreddit known as Wall Street Bets, which is quite self-explanatory. Many people in the subreddit noticed that GameStop had 140% of its shares sold short. The short sellers are hoping for the price to drop. But what happens when it goes up, you may be asking? Well, a short squeeze will happen. In case you don't know, a short squeeze occurs when a stock or other assets rises quite high, making traders who had bet that its price would fall to buy it in order to forestall even greater losses. Their panic when it comes to buying more stock only adds to the upward pressure on the stock's price. Because of this, the stock grew an insane amount. All this led to the halting of the ability to buy GameStop stock, but you were still able to sell. Due to the inability to buy, but still the ability to sell stock, a massive sell-off occurred. However, it is alleged to be a fake sell-off, which was triggered by hedge funds to coax retail traders into selling their positions at a lower price. But it didn't go as expected, as the price still dropped but recovered. So everything is all over the place in terms of GameStop and its stock. What is it that is really killing GameStop, though? No, it's not the locations shutting down, the pandemic, the bad management, or even the stock. It's the rise of digital media. The convenience of just being able to download games straight to your console or PC and not needing to go anywhere to pick it up is what is really hurting GameStop. Even when it comes to getting physical games, companies like Amazon are killing it in that department, having games shipped to your home. Sure, everything else I mentioned probably plays a more significant role in GameStop's downfall, but the rise of digital media is really the major contributing factor, and kinda is the reason everything else is happening. It is sad to see a corporation like GameStop go. Sure, they've done some really shady and scummy things, but there isn't really another retailer quite like them. Or, I mean, I'm from the United States, so I'm sure there are other big video game store retailers all over the world, but not that I know of. People are hoping for GameStop to shut down, but you do realize you lose a big part of gaming if that does happen. As for the whole stock market thing, it's a crazy thing, and as you can see, I do not know anything about finances or stock market or Wall Street or anything like that. I had to do heavy research, mostly Wikipedia, and this has gotten really everywhere, you know. It has even left the circle of just video games. Many people are covering this because it's big. And also keep in mind, this is ongoing. The whole thing with the stock market and Wall Street and Reddit and Robinhood and everything is not over. more information about it can come out even before this video gets uploaded. So it's possible that this video will soon be outdated. But here's what I'm going to ask you. Are you one of the people that would dance on the grave of GameStop if and when they shut down? Or would you kind of be a bit upset because we lose a big part of gaming? I want you to really think about that. And comment down below. I would usually put a poll, but I don't know why but YouTube removed polls. I really don't understand why. But yeah, that'll be this episode of the In-Depth Detective. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully I taught you a bit about stock and shit, because I didn't even know. Again, I had to do a bunch of research because I'm dumb. And if there's any other video games, movies, shows, video game companies, movie companies, anything of this sort that you want me to cover on this show, let me know down below. Anyways, be sure to like this video, come subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.